I still don't like their business model. I think it's shady. I think it's I think that delivering something that's an unknown to somebody only a couple of days before they have the option to cancel their subscription is a shitty do business. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. So today we are going over the January TacPack. This is one I got, January 2026. This is the end of the first week of February 2026. To get a couple quick things out of the way, first, if you like overlanding and off-roading and DIY camper builds and stuff like that, I do have a second channel that focuses on that. That is Matt's Off-Road and Outdoors. You can find that channel in the description below. It would be awesome if you'd go follow that. Number two, I don't have any further subscriptions to TacPack. I went into this with the expectation of getting 2, maybe 3, and seeing how they went, because I have had TacPack 2 other times in the history of my YouTube channel. Was never very impressed with them, and I thought I'd give it another shot. Last month's I was not impressed with in the least bit. So with that said, let's get into this one, see if this one will change my mind about TacPack. Now, as I'm opening this, I do want to mention that I've said in the past that I don't like TacPack's business model. And that business model is that they bill you for a subscription and you receive your package within a day or two, maybe 3 days of your subscription renewing. So if you haven't opened it right away, they're guaranteeing themselves at least a second one if you don't like it. They're guaranteeing themselves that they get paid one more time. And I think that's just a really shitty way of doing business. Now, I mentioned that in the last one, and some guy said, well, it was obvious that you weren't going to like this just in the first 30 seconds of the video, because my opinion about their subscription model and their business model. That's not true at all. I'm 100% honest about my opinions on things. Last month, the one that I paid for in December and got in January, the one I paid for in November and got in December, that thing was garbage. There was maybe one thing in there that was useful to the general public. Otherwise, it was full of filler, bullshit Temu stuff, maybe 1 or 2 things that somebody in a very specific place in their journey of firearms could have used. So let's get into this one. So right away, I see My Medic. I've been a fan of My Medic for a long time. I said that in the last one. They sent out a RATS tourniquet. I know some people out there who don't understand tourniquets, don't like RATS tourniquets. They work very, very well. And this is their sprain and fracture kit. I've seen this kit before. I've worked with My Medic in the past. It's been years. But this has a finger splint, triangular bandage, an elastic bandage, and a super wrap in it. So it's just a nice little sprain and fracture kit. Put it in your backpack, add it to some sort of a kit, something like that. I like that. Now, is that worth the cost of the box? No. This is the top tier box. I don't remember the name of it, the Pro or the Premium or something like that. This is Shower in Your Pocket. Tea Tree Essential Clean Freak. Are these wipes? Individually wrapped, no dry wipes. So are these individually wrapped wipes? Let's find out. Okay. It feels like a rolled up wipe. It is. And it's damp. It definitely has a scent to it. I don't know if I'd use this as a butt wipe. You know, if you had to relieve yourself out in the wilderness. I don't know what's on it, if it would burn. But it smells nice. My hands aren't dirty, but they're not dripping. They're not dripping in whatever the dampness is of it. So it's a nice little wipe. I wouldn't call this a body wipe. This says Clean Freak Body Wipe. It's the size of a hand wipe. Normally when you get into body wipes, they're much larger, like the size of a hand towel. However, nice little thing. Again, is that something that, are we building into something that this box might be worth? Possibly. So far, those two things are better than basically anything from the box I got in January. This is from X-Tech. These are the little. Let me get you up close to the camera here. These are the little handguard inserts that X-Tech is now offering. X-Tech acquired a company that made these, and these are cool. I have them. I already have them. I had them before they released. I am friendly. I'm friends with Jeremy from X-Tech, and he tossed me a handful of them a couple of months ago before they released them. I've had them on that green upper that you guys may or may not have seen that I built a while back. I have the tan ones. These are black ones. These are cool, and they don't add a whole lot of girth to the handguard. So that's cool. We have Phase 5 pistol buffer spring. So this is a pistol weight buffer spring. This is what I mean by people that are in a very specific spot in their firearms journey. This is useless to most people unless they are building a pistol AR, right? So these very specific things, I think, are, if you want to buy something like a TacPack and gamble on you getting something that's going to help you in your firearms journey, sure. But this is something I think that somebody's just going to go online and buy if they're in the middle of building a pistol AR, or if they're wanting to upgrade their pistol AR. They're not going to wait for a random TacPack to get this particular spring. I think that very specific parts like this are mostly pointless in a box like this. I don't know what that is, but it's huge, and so I'm going to hold off on that for a second. CRKT makes good knives, pretty good knives. Now, they did put a knife in the last TacPack, and it was a hunk of trash. It was a hunk of trash. It was basically a cheap gas station knife. Again, the last TacPack was full of like fillers and bullshit that nobody actually wants. So, CRKT, this is the unfolding karambit style knife. Cool. I mean, it's a neat knife. It's pretty sharp. CRKT delivers pretty sharp knives. How do I close it?
Well, we're waiting.
Okay, so there's a button. There's a button right here. So this little button right here, it's not a push in, it's push back. So you push that back and it'll close up. So sort of difficult to use. I don't particularly care for that. I mean, you can't, there is no way to do it one-handed like with most knives. But, I mean, it's a cool trinket. For somebody that's a knife collector, for somebody that just likes knives, this is probably okay. Again, nothing wrong with the brand. CRKT knives are nice. I think the average person probably isn't going to do anything with this. There's no belt clip that I can see on it, unless that part of the handle is a belt clip. Okay, that looks like that might be a belt clip. That's largely impossible to use. So there's this little spring tensioned area here. I don't know. It's okay. I mean, it's an okay knife. It's certainly a lot better than that last piece of garbage that they sent out. And this is a mat for working on guns. So this is a gun mat. This is has these little magnetic things you can see here. I'm guessing that's so your parts, so your little parts, detents and springs and stuff like that won't roll away. But it's rubber. This feels like a mud flap. It's cool. Made by Battle Arms Development. They make good stuff. Magnetic Gunsmith Cleaning Mat Medium is what the tag says. So this is their medium-sized one. It's cool. Now, anything else of usefulness in here? Looks like Pew Tools. Pew Tools, sales at Pew Tools. You know what? Scan for trigger and hammer aligner instructions. So this is a set of anti-walk pins for an AR trigger. And there's a sticker and VIP members, some Battle Arms Development thing, stuff, and the TacPack. What the contents is. Okay, so what is my thought on this TacPack? My thought on these sort of packages in general, I don't care what company it is that unless you sign up to receive very specific things for you, like sometimes these subscription boxes, no matter who it is, like maybe they'll send out t-shirts every once in a while, they'll ask you a shirt size, right? So that's what I mean. Like, unless you sign up and during the sign up process, you have very, very specific requirements. Like it does, if you're not a Glock guy, it does no good for them to put Glock pieces in here. It becomes largely pointless for you, right? I think that these boxes, in my opinion, are better for, this thing's still damp. This thing's still damp. That's actually, it's warm right now. I'm in southern Arizona desert. These usually dry out pretty quick. That's pretty impressive. This thing still as damp as it was when I took it out of the package. Then I think that the more things in here that the average person, the average gun owner, can use, the better, right? This is why I said for the last one, there were so many things in there. Like there was a dead air muzzle device flash hider. Well, those are very expensive, which means that the TacPack is worth that amount, right? Because I think those cost almost as much as the entire TacPack subscription. But if you don't have a dead air silencer and you're just looking for a flash hider, you can get online and buy a flash hider for a fraction of the price of that dead air flash hider, right? So while that may be a nice piece, it's largely useless to the vast majority of people who don't have dead air products, if you follow me. And it would be the same way. Like I run Reardon Plan B stuff. Had that been a Plan B muzzle device, super useful to me. The guy I work with who uses dead air stuff, who I gave that flash hider to, it would be absolutely useless to him. So the more things that are useful for the average person, I think these have a better place. This is useful, I think, to the average gun owner, right? Even if they're not doing rifles and they're just cleaning their pistol, I think this is useful. It's rubber. Sometimes the cleaning mats that people produce are like a mouse pad, made like a mouse pad, that foam. That's stupid for a cleaning mat. This sprain and fracture kit, I think, is useful in an emergency situation. Put it in your camping backpack. Again, these things in your camping backpack, keep them in your vehicle, keep them at work, something like that. This thing's still damp. Now that I've been finger fucking a little bit, it's starting to dry out. But that's useful to, I think, the vast majority of people. These things here, the pistol spring and the anti-walk pins, are only useful to people that need them. And again, I think if people need these things, they've already bought them off of a specific website. They're not waiting for these to be randomly put in a TacPack order. These are cool. If you have M-Lock, which most people do now, key mod, people don't use key mod as much as they once did, which is unfortunate because I like key mod. These are cool, and X-Tech's a great company, so anything I can do to support them is, they're an Arizona company. Jeremy's an awesome dude. They make awesome products. So these are cool. And it's one of those things that they're not very expensive, so if you don't have a use for them, it's not going to hurt your feelings too much to throw them in the trash. I wouldn't suggest throwing these away. I think they're cool. But they're sort of an add-on to an accessory. The knife is neat, good knife by a good company. I think it's a little cumbersome to use. I think that karambits are largely aimed towards self-defense, and this one not being one-hand operable makes it a gimmick. Again, to somebody that collects knives and just thinks knives are cool, this is going to be cool. But being as is not, unless you can get it out of your pocket, okay. So you can, with centrifugal force, get it to open up. Cool enough, unless you accidentally, whing, and it goes flying. And that release switch is a pain in the ass. So I think this pack is better than the one that they sold in December, or the one that they sold in November for December's release. I think this one's better than that one as far as the everyman getting use out of it. I don't know if there's $100 and some odd of use out of this for the price. I think a lot of this price comes from things like this and this, right? Some of these things. These things aren't very expensive. These types of items aren't very expensive. But as far as the overall usefulness of the entire package, I think this one's better than the last one. Do I suggest TacPack to people? No, I don't. I think that for the most part, you can save a ton of money if you're looking for very specific things by just going out and buying it. If you like the surprise box every month is Christmas type thing and you don't care what you're getting, sure, TacPack or any other subscription box is a way for you. I still don't like their business model. I think it's shady. I think it's shitty. I think that delivering something that's an unknown to somebody only a couple of days before they have the option to cancel their subscription is a shitty way to do business. Yeah, this one is more of a pass for me than the last one, that's for certain. However, of the 6 or so of these boxes that I've opened up over the last 9 years or something, 9 or 10 years, this is probably one of the best ones that I've had. This is probably one of the best ones I've had. So take that for what it is. What it really comes down to is sort of like the SDI and all these other things that the big YouTubers are paid to try to peddle to you. It's not always what it boils out to be. Not always what it seems to be. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe. Check out the new channel, the second channel, if you want. And that's it. This is it. I won't be doing another TacPack for probably a few years. When I decide, oh fuck it, I'll give them another chance to see if they've actually put anything of use in their boxes. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you later.